of 3. Of course, it is Elevate's map pick. That does then bring expectations for them to do well and maybe send us over to Clubhouse, where there's a lot of storylines for that particular map as well. If we do get there, it will be a fascinating one. Let's see what happens here on Coastline first. Elevate must win, of course, to keep this best of 3 alive, and the Chiefs looking for redemption on this map, as you said. Let's head into the bans. Elevate banning out Finker. No real surprise with this one. It's a twofold one again. Ethan is very prominent of using Finker on Coastline, but as we know, Elevate do ban it out generally anyway.
Thatcher in response. Not typically seen here on Coastline necessarily, but it is a ban that the Chiefs do dabble in here and there. Funnily enough, they actually took Nomad off the board in that order game. They also took Valk off the board, which is not too unexpected here. In terms of the final defensive ban, I'm going to quickly theorize what it might be here from Elevate. They've dabbled in the mirror in the past. Not too much data that I'm seeing here that is ultra recent. So we might, yeah, maybe just see mirror. That would be a very safe ban. But maybe they'll experiment with something a little bit different. There we go. Wamai off the board, and that's a projectile denial operator dealt with. Jaeger now will be ultra critical. Where do you place those devices? You want to stack them in particular locations. Keep in mind that nades are absolutely huge on this map.
Chiefs on the attack first. Elevate will be on the defense. Hooker Billiards will be our site of choice to open things up here on Coastline, and very quickly wouldn't mind going back and actually having a look and see how the Chiefs did actually play against Order, particularly on this, whether it was their defense or their offense that let them down. As I'm talking, I'm doing a dev guz and I'm having a quick little scroll and a quick little look. Their defense was quite lackluster, but obviously that's Coastline. They only had the 2 defensive round wins for attacking to Order, and then it was a 3-3 second half, of course. So make of that as you will. Basically just fell a little bit short. Obviously when you generally lose 7-5, there is only that 1 round in the difference of it. And in the case for the Chiefs, that just went against them. So we'll see if they can bounce back here on Coastline. I did mention earlier on in the broadcast that in terms of their last 5 matches on Coastline, they're technically 4-1 over those last 5. So this is Elevate's map pick, but I don't know if it's necessarily their entire map. Like, this is not a given.
Of course, for Elevate, our data pool is a little less fleshed out. Only 9 rounds in total and 100% defensive win rate. So, I mean, it's obviously nonsensical really to extrapolate that and set that as an expectation heading into this matchup. I don't know, is this going to trend to the defense? Is it going to trend to the attack? I don't know. We'll get those answers pretty quickly, and thankfully, Coastline is a very fast-paced map, so it shouldn't be too drawn out.
Yeah, and Chiefs obviously a team that have a very wide variety of a map pool too, so you're never really going to be able to probably find a map where you are so proficient and the Chiefs aren't. The Chiefs are just generally good on most maps. Maybe only 1 or 2 that they really do suffer, and obviously you got the bans for that anyway, especially for a best of 3. Very early EE1D from Worthy, which is quite normal from him, and the Chiefs get 1 out early, make it a bit of a nuisance on Elevate, and Worthy just pushes straight into Sunrise. Things out and player in Kitchen. Goes prone as well. There is an actual opportunity here for Worthy and Ethan to actually get a pinch here. Player in Cool Vibes. Oh, yeah, that's death. Easy opening kill from Worthy on an APU.
Doesn't come much easier than that. Can swing wide over towards the bottom of Cool Vibes and find a second. Achieves that feat. Onigiri taken down, and that's a huge start for the Chiefs.
Yeah, and 2 minutes on the clock with this advantage. This is attacking Coastline. Basically, at its best right now from the Chiefs. Push in early, put the pressure on early, and then execute. Digital was able to find a kill elsewhere as well. He's someone I think that can definitely thrive on this map, especially on the Buck. Don't see much of a way back here for Nerix and Sapper. Chiefs, just 1 extra round that gets done nice and early. Nice Nitrocell. Somehow, Fisher-Kai stays alive, guys.
What can these 2 remaining defenders accomplish? Fisher's low, but the rest of the attack still full HP. They are playing this safe. Digital down below on the vert. God Legion on Cool Vibe swing. If he wins this fight, it's a 1 versus 5, but neither player wanting to give an inch.
Well, God Legend doesn't have to swing here. Yeah, he just has to hold that angle while Digital gets to work. down below in Sunrise, opening up these floorboards. Nerix now takes the position of Cool Vibes, and he actually does swing successfully, but as soon as he pops his head back up towards Hooker, he loses it immediately, and the Chiefs will take the opening round.
And that is the reason I put that little tiny asterisk next to the 100% defensive win rate for Elevate, because that is now completely gone away. And yeah, that was just, honestly just super clean from the Chiefs. No way to say it. Interesting, I guess, extension down below there from Elevate. Very weird that you would be playing a kitchen position and then just swinging, not expecting anyone to be inside of red bar, as that's a pretty common attack pattern. And then, of course, on a Geary, just a little bit slow there on the refrag, also caught off guard. So that was just a poor start to the round there. For Elevate, they'll tune that up and they'll be ready to go in round number 2.
Yeah, and Penn Theatre is going to be the choice of site here in the second round. It is a site we are seeing a little bit more since the rework.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Doesn't necessarily mean it has been successful. At times when we do see it, does for the defending teams. Mixed bag is probably the best way to summarize it, as teams try and obviously, I guess, theorize and figure out the best sort of strategies.
Attackers have discovered the location of
Deploying the mirror here actually is something that I don't think we've seen too much in the past on it.
I wasn't listening to your point, so unfortunately, if you were actually wanting me to add on to
No,
that,
no,
I wasn't able to. Okay, good.
All I'm saying is that we're heading over to Penn Theatre and
5 seconds left
Sorry,
before
I was just looking at some spreadsheets, so. My bad. In terms of this setup though, Goyo in the fray, so 2 Vulcan Shields in play. Mirror as well in combination, so this could be quite painful for the Chiefs. Maybe they'll need to be forced to lean into some vertical play, get lobby control, clear those canisters from down below, some of these shields as well. So this is going to be one of the more util heavy setups we'll likely see here on Coastline, which again has the cliche saying of being obviously very frag heavy. Of course, utility still is critically important and comes down to those fundamentals. If you can just clear these shields one by one, do it cleanly, do it efficiently, not give away your life in the process, then probably come out on top.
Guy finds the opening pick onto DCH. That's not an ideal start here for this Penthouse Theatre defense from Elevate. Should definitely preface nice and early, though, that this is going to be attacker-sided. Maybe even, we're talking maybe even like 5-1 territory. What a nade from Ethan. Kobe, if you will. And like the round prior, it's 5 versus 3 inside of the first minute.
The Chiefs are looking sharp. That's just the simplest way to explain it right now. They are looking so sharp. They're not making any mistakes, and they are creating opportunities. That's your goal on the attack. Show initiation, show that creativity, and pull off plays, and they are doing that so far. Now, though, they enter a bit of a dangerous phase of the round. They have the advantage. Now they need to convert it.
Vulcan Shield gets destroyed. Second one as well. You find those 2 kills. Now you go back to dealing with the utility. Now you go back to finding another kill. It's like clockwork right now for the Chiefs. Early days here on Coastline, but good signs on Agiri. Finally able to get a kill for Elevate in this round, but might be just too little too late. Gone 6 entry for Worthy. There's Aqua, 50 seconds remaining on Agiri. Now starts to actually push out, but pushes straight into Worthy. Everything going exactly to plan right now for the Chiefs on Coastline. Sapper alone in a 1 versus 4. No expectations for him to achieve a victory from this position. Chiefs should be going up 2-0 here.
As that timer ticks down, the Chiefs will need to think about applying some pressure by getting the diffuser stuck. Sapper, yet to be cut off, finds the first onto Worthy. Does take a little bit of damage in the process, but it's enough to survive a couple more bullets. Oh, that's a sharp shot. Onto Ethan, also swings, gives away his life. Now, it's a 2v1 post plant.
Yeah, and Sapper's played this very well. He hasn't actually done what basically Onigiri did and start, pushing out, pushing into different positions. Held his ground, understood that the pressure and the pinch was going to come from the Chiefs. Does now need to get a move on, though. Of course, only 26 seconds. So you now get into that aggressive tone. Sapper drops down, but Digital's watching and waiting. Well, that was a bit of a close one. After an amazing start to the round from the Chiefs, Sapper almost single-handedly bringing it back for Elevate, but not to be. 2-0 start for the Chiefs here on Coastline. But again,
Really?
guys, it needs to be said, we're expecting the attackers to do well.
Yeah, really good individual effort there from Sapper. His back was well and truly against the wall. Did a great job to find 3 kills. Digital, though, again, he was already ready for that. Played down below, had the vert, was just going to play that position either way, and then not sure if it was a call or game sense, maybe sound. Either way, looked at the hatch, and that was a pretty easy kill. Well played by the Chiefs. Yes, again, late round, super close, bit untidy, bit unprofessional in that regard, but up to that point, every play up until the plant
Defenders, protect your
was
bombs
just
from being defused
so
by
damn
attackers.
good.
And I think just 2 rounds is all that Elevate probably need on the defense to have what I would actually consider a successful
Attackers have
defensive half
discovered
here on
the location of
Coastline.
a bomb.
So if that's kind of the goal, if that's the
Attackers
pass
have
mark,
located a bomb.
you've still got 4 rounds to make something happen. Plenty of time. Kitchen service, somewhat debatable here, probably expecting the Chiefs to maybe be able to take this one. It's the sites like Hooker Billiards where we would hope for a little bit more from
10
Elevate,
seconds
but
remaining.
see what they can achieve here. Going for the cap cam with Onigiri. In fact,
5
then
seconds
you've
left
also got the
before
Mozzie on Napier, the Legion as well. Very much going to
Attackers are
expect
heading out to
somewhat of
defuse
a
the bomb.
extension here from Elevate. Need to find a kill early. It's going to be absolutely critical. In somewhat similar fashion to that of Bank in the earlier match that we played earlier. Those opening picks ended up being such a crucial part of that match.
In Elevate are really at a crossroads now. Do you amp up your aggression even more? Get more in the face of the Chiefs, prevent them from getting boots on the ground inside of the map, prevent them from lining up these grenades or getting this vertical control. Of course, that's inherently more risky, but can also produce better rewards. You could also go the other way. Elevate could play even more defensively, in the sense of, you know, playing off soft surfaces, etc., playing into information more heavily, but like any good team, they'll need to try and strike the middle ground. God Legion, though, shuts down on Onigiri. Sapper as well.
What?
Again, it's a 5 versus 3.
Inside of the first minute. It's deja vu, guys. 3 rounds in a row. Now I'm just kind of waiting for that God Legion kill that he usually finds around the minute and a half to make it like a 5 versus 2. That would literally be scary at that point, because I swear we've seen it in the first 2 rounds. And Elevate, this is just the downfall for them, is losing these players so early on in the rounds. Oh, that's an easy one.
Oh, here we go.
I
Called
can't
it.
believe what I've just seen. It has happened again.
And it's 2 kills from the same
Oh my
position.
God.
Elevate are just throwing away their lives. Now, Digital on the vert should be able to find the 4th pick here for the Chiefs. Oh,
No.
no, it doesn't. Nerix wins that out, but only 1 HP left. This, again, is the Chiefs' round to lose.
Oh, this is like actually getting scary now. Is there a comeback from maybe Nerix or Napier in a similar fashion to that we almost saw from Sapper in the second round? Napier over towards Hallway. He gets anti. Nitrous. That should connect, and it will. God Legion taken out. Maybe the round could be salvaged here for Elevate when it looked like all hope was lost at 2 versus 5. Nerix, basically no health inside a service, and he's just playing the duck and weave game, trying to avoid the sightlines that Ethan continues to create above him. 45 seconds remaining. We might have a round on our hands here, guys, unless this angle is found. Oh, Ethan taking damage back though. He couldn't actually deliver any damage to Napier. 30 seconds left. One swing from Nerix could find a kill to make it 2 versus 2.
Yeah, ACOG for bar is just not great. Fisher over towards service door, yet to clear. Nerix still holding on with 1 HP. Worthy though could swing. Oh, Nerix makes his
Napier.
move. Now Napier in the
Diffuser.
2 versus 1. Diffuser dropped, 15 seconds left.
There's not much time for Ethan and Worthy to get that diffuser. They need to probably now go for the kill onto Napier. Definitely a possibility. 2v1, pinch him, and it's gonna happen just like that. Trade one, and then the other gets the kill from behind. Chiefs win the round. They've now won 3. They've got a 3-0 start here on Coastline. Elevate's map pick. A little messy towards the mid and the late round, but who cares, guys? When you're winning, doesn't matter.
And I guess you can get away with that when every single round you're getting into a 5 versus 3 within the first minute. And again, Elevator just throwing away these picks. Now again, we didn't see the first 2, so I can't be too critical of that. But the player just rotating through the skylight angle or the roof angle. Like, I just can't quite comprehend what's going on at the moment. It's just really unusual. And it gives the impression to us that maybe at the moment, Elevate again, playing out of desperation. They're panicking a little bit again. The stakes are massive in this matchup. And at the moment, they're crippling under that pressure at the moment.
Now, my counting skills, guys, are questionable, but I am correct here. 9 of the last 10 rounds have gone to the Chiefs if we combine the conclusion of Bank and now the start of Coastline. That is staggering. 9 of 10 rounds. And the majority of those have been on the attack on both Bank and Coastline, though, so I think we're starting to now really see the picture that has been painted in this series. Attack is going to be the side that is going to be more favored, which does mean this tactical timeout for Elevate is probably the best time to take it. And the attack is probably now turned into a tech timeout as well, so it extends it. And they need it, honestly, guys. They absolutely need it. They need 2 rounds here in the second half.
Yeah, it has been a poor start here for Elevate, unfortunately, but maybe with the extension of this tack into a tech or whatever is going on, 2 players DCing, they can really reset and bunker down. Yet to, of course, find a site that they are successful on, so you can't even find something to lean into. There's very few positives, I think, that Elevate have to extract at the moment, so can they find them? I'm not too sure. Their late round has been great. There are players individually stepping up when the moment arises, when the occasion calls for it. But unfortunately, the team as a unit just isn't quite there. And again, like I said in the last map, the Chiefs are the one team in APAC and APAC South more specifically that have really stepped up and built themselves as one strong roster, not just 5 strong players individually. And that's showing so far here in the second map.
Well, the tactical timeout that turned into a technical timeout has now come to its conclusion. Elevate, that's all you're going to get now.
Defenders, protect your
Here on out, you're on your own. Got to bring it back, and it all starts with Hooker Billiards. Need to stop this Chiefs onslaught. 9 of 10 rounds. They are well and truly on their way to Sweden right now, the Chiefs. They are so close. But they've been in this position before, Guz. And unfortunately, it hasn't quite gone always to script. This time, will it actually go to script? Will they be able to finish off Elevate as we get to the final 3 rounds of this opening half?
4 members of the Chiefs have never attended an international LAN event. Ethan is the only one that has, most notably the Season 10 finals in Tokoname, where Wildcard almost took down the eventual champs in Na'Vi, and then of course at 6 Invitational. The story rather is pretty similar for Elevate. They haven't been to a LAN either, and that would be huge for Thailand, a region that has really been fighting hard for representation on that stage. Of course, Elevate, they have already confirmed themselves for 6 Invitational, so they have that opportunity, but the major would be almost a glorified warm-up for them, right? Get familiar with the LAN environment, test yourself against some of the best in the world, gain that experience, and then be really well equipped for that 6 Invitational. But unfortunately, at the moment, they are struggling, and that has been the storyline for them this year, just falling short of every opportunity.
Bomb has been located.
It's a tense round. So much riding on it to see if Elevate, off the back of that tactical and technical timeout, can they find a round win? All of the pressure, guys, is on them right now. The Chiefs, the pressure's off for a bit. You're already up 1 map. You're already up 3-0 here. Yes, it's the attack on Coastline. You expect it to do well. Yeah, I was just about to mention, I've seen it as well on the bottom right. Narix, though, technically with the opening kill. From a technical standpoint, Digital then eventually finishes off Sapper. So 4 versus 4 with 1.5 minutes remaining.
Already, Elevate, in terms of how many members are still alive in the server, are doing better, and positionally they're looking set. The Chiefs, there's a couple of key positions they have been yet to dislodge. One of those is Cool Vibes, Gold Legion with a nade in hand, maybe to go for a play on towards Nerix. There's a shield still up at the Vars position as well. A player prone inside a pool. A little bit strange there from Elevate, but Worthy gets that kill from outside over Tuka Balk. That's a big shot.
White, Narek still holding Cool Vibes, minute left. Need to be patient in this position. Cannot be just giving your life away. Cannot just be swinging without info, but yet does it anyway. Gets the kill onto Digital, but there's the trade from God Legion. That's what the Chiefs have been so successful at. Oh, the timing. Worthy onto Onigiri, who tried to retake Cool Vibes. Gets caught, gets eliminated. Napier in a 1 versus 3. How many times have we seen Elevate inside of these first 4 rounds down such a significant margin? Chiefs on the verge of a 4-0 start. Only the gas babe still remaining for Napier. Does not have any help. Only time that maybe could be on his side. Good repositioning. Should have got that kill onto Fisher Guy. He whiffs with the SMG. Good headshot. That's the fuser down. If he can win this position at Cool Vibes, it might just change things. The vault over with a shotgun. Diffuser at the door of Hooker. Oh, Worthy, he goes hunting. He's got prone. It's actually saved his life, but not for too long. Worthy with a big clutch play with such little time remaining. 4-0 Chiefs.
The trading from the Chiefs in that round was so good. So good until that final pick. But Worthy, oh, he's just so damn good. Pulls it out of nowhere to get that kill. Not sure if that was game sense. Not sure if that was a call or a drone. But either way, who cares? It's the round win for the Chiefs. A 4-0 lead.
I wish I could just show everybody right now the dev match tracker. It's all blue. Blue for Chiefs, blue for attack. There is no sign of an orange or red logo of Elevate or orange for defense anywhere to be seen. Not since round 7 on Bank. 8 attacking rounds in a row to the Chiefs, literally, between both Bank and now Coastline. Cannot make it up. Over to Kitchen Service. Needs to be said now, guys. These are 2 must-win rounds. If they are to keep their hopes alive here in this upper bracket final. Chiefs so close to tasting success.
And Elevate, they just use their tactical timeout. They just use their tactical. They know the importance of getting a couple of rounds here, but it doesn't pay off in round number 4. Yes, it was probably their closest attempt yet, but still not enough. And again, particularly through the mid-round, the Chiefs are just so switched on. We were seeing these key positions just being absolutely shredded to pieces. Vars was a great example, right? We saw his ex-Kairos and then bang, Chiefs found the kill. Cool Vibes traded out instantly. It was just so great to watch. It was like a symphony of sorts, I guess. And I don't know who the director is for the Chiefs at the moment in terms of making these calls, but we're doing a really, really strong job. Now it's up to Elevate. The ball is in their court. As you mentioned, the next 2 rounds at this point, I would have to agree, they're basically must win. Now, yes, we might see an attacker-sided map, but if it leans heavily to a 5-1 or even a 6-0, I would be incredibly, incredibly surprised.
They need a 4-2 scoreline. 5-1 at minimum, obviously, but 4-2. They can get it to 4-2, suddenly it opens up a pathway. Napier gets thrown down to Penthouse, he's going to have to get moving soon. Another EE1D. That's the second one that's now been deployed by Worthy. Only 1 remaining with 2 minutes on the clock. Napier actually didn't even go that far, honestly. He's still sticking around. Now from Penthouse into Theater, he's just being annoying to deal with. In a way, it's not the most aggressive play here from Elevate, but it's at least something where they're not able... Oh, never mind. He's just dead anyway. Down, and then he will be out for the count. Ethan will finish off the work. Once again, advantage to the Chiefs. Once again, Elevate playing at a disadvantage. Once again, that being a 2-man disadvantage.
Above forfeited. That's control for the Chiefs, and now they can work the vert. Worthy, he's 3rd in the round. Nerix and Sapper need to produce something special, not only to win the round, but to keep their team in the map, keep their team in the series. Elevate are fighting against being dropped to the lower bracket, and they have been in this position so many times, trying to get to a major, but they keep falling short.
This has been very disappointing from Elevate. Yes, it's attacker side. Yes, the Chiefs are playing incredibly well and deserve the plaudits. but I'm not seeing enough from Elevate to look like they are fighting tooth and nail to try and make something happen. They are sitting in corners, they're holding angles, sure, that's great, but you're not really trying to make anything happen. You are in no way dictating the match here. It is the Chiefs that have their full control. Look at this drunk God Legion. Easiest kill he will ever find. Looking for another flawless round. They will find it. And they are finding this all too easy right now on Coastline.
I think they're going to do it. I think the Chiefs are going to be able to pull this off. 5-0, they are putting on a clinic. At this point, it really is just to get it across the line. It's a formality at this point. There has been one round where the Elevate have looked even remotely close to being able to win it out. Maybe second if you want to counter clutch. But outside of that, the Chiefs on every level are crushing their opponents at the moment. Keep in mind, this is the map they lost to Order to even be here. So to come out and to get the first 5 rounds against a much more difficult opponent is a stellar effort. Now it's just a matter of getting across the line. They are so close now.
Yeah, and it's disappointing for Elevate. It really is. It's also heartbreaking in a way. And I need to remind everybody that no team that has lost the upper bracket final has then gone on and won the lower bracket final. It's not happened. Ever. Obviously, Elevate will be hoping that they can, you know, buck that trend. But they too have actually already been in this scenario before, back in, I think it was stage 1, where they lost the upper bracket final, then lost the lower bracket final. Never mind, sorry, that was stage 2. So they're in that position once again, Guz. It's like it's stage 2 being relived all over again. That is a nightmare that Elevate do not want to find themselves in, but find themselves in.
Yeah. It's a bit of a Groundhog Day scenario almost here for Elevate. Can they find something though? Can they get around? Can they at least spot a bit of light at the end of such a dark tunnel that's before the moment? Chiefs been great on the entry, but no, this time it's Elevate. Nerix gets one, Worthy trades it back, so not a bad trade again from the Chiefs.
Yeah, and I think that's happened both times now that Elevate have actually been able to find the opening pick. Ironically, both times being Nerix as well, but both times the trade from the Chiefs is there. Which has not been the case for Elevate when Chiefs have been finding these opening picks elsewhere in the other rounds. They snowball it every single round. They get the opening pick, then the second, then the third. When Elevate find one, it gets traded and it's a 4 versus 4. The game kind of just slows down temporarily. Ethan is a good play to get rid of, but it's Worthy that you really want to take out of the lobby. 12-2-2. The MVP star player for the Chiefs popping off once again in a big match. You can always count on Worthy to stand up. And who has been able to really stand up for Elevate here? No one of note. Napier has had some good moments. Nerix as well early in the rounds. But where's Onigiri? Where's Zappa? Where's DCH? Where's Elevate?
Napier is inside of office. I think the Chiefs wanted to pinch out this position, but elected not to now. They need to be careful. He's a bit of a loose cannon now in this round that Chiefs can't allow to overrun them. That said, he makes his way up wide stairs and won't really pose too much of a threat. This has been a slow round from the Chiefs. 60 seconds remaining, still 8 players up. Probably the most we've seen at this point of any round thus far. So we're going to see a chaotic execute. Digital down below inside of Sunrise, maybe looking to find this pick onto Cool Vibe stairs, but the Chiefs are not really being given anything in this round. And that's a good change up from Elevate.
Yeah, and usually it's this Cool Vibes position that has been so prominent. Typically, Elevate have been giving it up maybe far too easy or losing too many lives there. Chiefs not really getting too aggressive with it either. But they look primed to set up here. This is when Elevate now need to go for that counter punch before the real punch does take place. God Legion loses a big chunk of his life, but he's got Digital, the right-hand man, to push up Cool Vibes alongside him. Worthy gets on Onigiri. It's all falling to pieces once again for Elevate. Only Napier and DCH remain. Digital gets taken down to a very low health margin. He swings again. That could be a punishment moment here for Elevate. Napier with 2. Now he's got 3 in the round. Finally, through Napier, who goes pew, 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 to just give a very small lifeline for Elevate.
The big individual play. The Chiefs, they should have won that round. They had both players boxed off.
They just kept peeking.
They had them zoned. But Napier, what an effort. To dig deep in such an awful situation at the moment is a really valiant effort. Now, again, probably not going to be enough to turn the tide of the match, but at least gives a buffer. It gives a buffer. If we see a super, and I'm talking super duper attacker side of map, I mean, it'd be ridiculous. I mean, I'd love to see it.
I want to see them come back. I want to see the Elevate come back right now. From here, from this moment, on the attack. What can they do? And honestly, the beauty of winning at least that very final round means you can actually take some confidence. I know it's not a lot of confidence. You're down 5-1. You're already down 1-0 in the series. But it's not like they won, say, the opening round and then Chiefs won 5 in a row and you're sitting there with your hands in your head. At least you've won that. Napier just pops off. He's now 9-5. He's the one that's standing up for Elevate. Big round from him. They need more of that, though. Not just from Napier, but from everyone on the team. And it is a possibility on the attack here on Coastline. If Elevate can find any semblance of momentum and win, say, even just the first 2-3 rounds here. We'll say that even just the first 2 rounds, guys. If you make it 5-3 and you've won 3 in a row, suddenly the pressure then starts to go back onto the Chiefs, who would be thinking, oh no, we're not going to choke this again, are we?
Yep. That's the interesting mental dynamic playing out in this matchup. At the moment, though, all the pressure is still on Elevate. The Chiefs, they have been obviously not cruising in this matchup, but by competitive siege standings, yeah, they probably have been cruising a little bit.
I mean, they definitely were cruising. I think you can say it. But, you know, like most cruises, they do come to an end.
Could be some choppy waters ahead.
Yeah, it could be. Can never give up on any team inside of APAC South. We've seen it too many times, guys. All of these comeback stories start somewhere, and that somewhere is usually down 5-1 or 6-0 or 5-2. And generally at the start of those stories, the commentators are saying there's no chance. There's always a chance. You've got to believe. Elevate need to believe. But it starts with them and finishes with them. They need to be aggressive now on the attack.
And the standard set in this matchup so far has been very, very aggressive. More often than not, at least 1 or 2 picks in the first minute. So there's already been a change of pace here from Elevate. Being careful, droning ahead, looking to take map control. DCH needs to be careful. There is a player inside of Pool, but Onigiri will just delete him off the face of the earth. Now, there was another cool vibes. I think that might be worthy, but he needs to be careful. No, it's Digital. Flashed out, forced back. Elevate don't find that kill, though.
Yeah, well timed there by Digital. The flash, the E1D, feeling the pressure, falls back over towards Sunrise. Already with the opening pick, though, for Elevate, that's something. That's a good sign. And there's still a lot of time. 1 minute and 15 seconds is plenty here. God Legion. Maybe just thinking about that white stairs flank. Doesn't go for it immediately, though, as Elevate start to get that vert control established. Napier. Honestly, right now, I would back him in. He is playing very well here for Elevate. Elevate just need to make sure that they don't let this time dwindle down too much. You're going to need some of it.
A bomb has been located.
The question I have is, where to from here for Elevate? Are they going for a surface plant? Well, they have a couple of players over towards Red Bar, so I'm not so sure. Either way, though, they have not long to figure that out. 30 seconds on the board. Lobby control still obtained here by the Chiefs. God Legion, though, being pinched, needs to survive. Needs the help of Worthy elsewhere. Napier is ready and waiting to cut off that cross. 20 seconds left. God Legion doesn't commit to that fight. Time still ticking down.
Elevate cannot let this be a one-dimensional attack. Talk about timing. It is everything and more. Red time, though. Speaking of it, Onigiri, headshot onto Worthy. They need to get this plant down through Nerix. He's dead. He's out. The fuse is on the ground. God Legion saves the day for the Chiefs. It started so well for Elevate, but it crumbles. The capitulation is heartbreaking. Match point. Major point for the Chiefs.
Elevate. Yes, it was good, but it took them so long. They didn't have any margin for error. 10 seconds left, you're running through lobby trying to get in towards site. If you drop, the round's over. That's what happened. Courtyard not being covered, not being considered. I assume it's because they had a player on the black balcony earlier, and again, the timing there not quite going in favor initially of the Chiefs, but I think ultimately it actually was to their benefit. 6-1 the scoreline. The Chiefs with 5 opportunities to close this out and confirm their spot at Sweden. This is the best position they have been in outside of Play Day 7. This is their chance to get it done.
It's been a journey for the Chiefs getting to this moment of match point. To head to a major. They had it in their hands for the final play day of APAC South, and they let it slip into the hands of Invictus Gaming. But now, once again, destiny in their hands. And Playday 7 will be forever forgotten if they can claim victory here on Coastline. Up 6-1. If there is a proverbial wall, Elevate have all 5 of their packs up against it. No room to move. A long way to climb back into this series. They need to win 5 rounds in a row, and unfortunately have barely been able to win even 5 rounds over the course of this entire best of 3. In fact, it is 5 overall. 4 on Bank, 1 here on Coastline.
Last round from Elevate was slow and methodical, and it did work to some extent. Found a couple of picks, but time continued to drain, and they didn't allow themselves any window of opportunity to recover from any sort of mistake. So here, in round number 8, they need to speed things up. Napier over towards VIP does get a good entry. Oh, there's a player inside of pool. Napier, though, gets time pinged out as well by that Alibi Prisma. Unfortunate not to get the opener.
Such a tense round, so much on the line. This is where Elevate need to be professionals, and they can't let the moment get to them. Stay locked in. Who cares if it's match point? We know Digital doesn't even know that it's match point right now.
He doesn't know what the score is.
They don't know what the score is, the Chiefs. That's their mentality. They play every round as if it's 0-0. And Elevate need to play with that same mentality right now.
Yeah, goes both ways in the scoreline. Vertical control being established here by Napier. The Chiefs not willing to contest that, probably going to lean into denying the plant 3 smoke gas babes for show, and you can see everyone is offside, or at least Worthy is the only one in blue. Sunrise vacated. Again, looking to play long angles. 60 seconds remain here for Elevate. They need to come up with something special. They've done the groundwork, but now they need to get into sight and go for the plant.
Oh, Nerix, though, punishes God Legion for not taking the initial shot. Opening pick for Elevate, but not for long. Digital and Ethan both combined for kills. Worthy, of course. He's got 14 now to his name in this match. 2-man advantage. Napier and DCH to maybe, Guz, keep things alive for Elevate.
DCH drops off, but with 30 seconds left, Napier forced to rotate as well. Surely there's nothing they can do from this position. The Chiefs just need to hold on.
Digital gets his second for the round. DCH has not been able to find a kill here on Coastline, and I sense he's not going to be suddenly able to find 4 of them inside of 14 seconds. Chiefs fans in Australia, it's time to start celebrating. You can celebrate because your team is heading to the major. They may have fallen on Playday 7, but they rise to the occasion when it matters the most in the playoffs. The Chiefs are heading to Sweden.
Oh, it doesn't matter how deep you fall. What matters is how you bounce back from Playday 7, where they lost to Order. They turn around against Elevate and win 7-1 against the Grain. what a series, what a performance, what a year for the Chiefs, and they can go to Sweden and celebrate.
Yeah, and obviously on the broadcast, guys, we try not to be biased. We are Australian. It's great for the Chiefs.